Okay, hi guys. Welcome to Unidentified Podcast. Today again, we have a new topic, and we were just discussing, actually the riots, and that most of the riots can be orchestrated in such a manner that only what is allowed to see is being seen, or only what is allowed by the government is actually passed. And I think this one is a good example of protesting. So people protesting against a very wealthy family. I don't know if you guys know it, the Sackler family.
Yeah, they're the ones with the drugs, right?
Exactly.
I'm bad with names. If you have pictures or anything like that, you got anything?
I don't have pictures, but I'll show the video and then you'll get.
Okay.
It looks cool because I see a little bit of it. It looks like it's got that old school kind of grainy film look to it.
Is it an old video, or if it's intended to be?
But this is new,
like
right?
That?
Yeah, it's
quite new. Yeah.
This is new.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, they made a documentary, and this is the video about the documentary, or a trailer actually. Okay. And it's about the Sackler family, and they had two pharmaceutical companies which were very influential in the United States, and they made a lot of money with drugs like Oxycontin and opioids like that. I think it's best if I let the video play, and it's gonna be more focused towards the riots and people that had grassroots rioting. Actually, something that starts with small steps, but eventually becomes something very big. So a wave that people can't stop. So.
All right, I'll fire it up.
Some explicit content, so for the children, look away in the beginning.
Photography is like a flash of euphoria, and it gave me a voice. Once I started sharing the work, it was really heavy resistance, especially from male artists and gallerists who said, this isn't photography. Nobody photographs their own life.
Dance, dance, dance. The photographer, Nan Golden. She's a major name in the art world.
The work was incredibly political. It was about power, and particularly about the power that men have over women and how that power is translated up in society.
100,000 dead!
She started, Nan Golden started with photography.
What's that?
Nan Golden, the photographer that they talked about just a second ago. Mm-hmm. She started with photography, but she found out that something big was happening in the sense of, with the Sackler family. Mm-hmm. So she started to focus on that, and then this.
Focus on that in which way? Like investigating, or
investigating, finding out what was actually happening behind the scenes, what was, really.
Why did that pick up her attention? Why was that?
I think because of the world she was living in the sense that she was in, also, as you can see, the photograph she had, and also her team was the man's power over woman, or the power difference and the interaction between those. And I think from that perspective, she took it a little bit more broader, as to see from people in power or families in power, what they can do to actually harm people without making profits, without actually dealing with the consequences or negative consequences of it. So,
you know about this, Ed?
No, I don't. No, I just know about this Sackler family. I was thinking like maybe she was in the art scene and she was seeing like her friends being like, addicted to these drugs and seeing them get all skinny and all that. We seen like a really skinny woman in the beginning. Maybe that's what it was. She was seeing her friends die, but I'm gonna let the rest. You want to let the rest of it play through? We got.
Can you lower it a little bit? But yeah, let's watch the video because I still don't quite understand what's going on.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 minute here. This is kind of loud.
World and philanthropy, and then there's the big pharma marketing and addiction and death.
My anger at the Sackler family, it's personal. When you think of the profit of people's pain, you can only be furious.
Nan said, I think we should take these people down. But do you think my career will implode? And I said, probably.
We need to demand that the Met Museum, the Louvre, the Tate refuse donations from the Sacklers and take down their name.
The rich people are scared that we're going to dig into the evil way they make money.
This is a watershed moment. People are actually beginning to rethink how we do things.
The wrong things are kept secret in society. And that destroys people.
All right.
So yeah, basically that's her story about the. I think Ed was right in that sense that she dealt with a lot of people that were dying from overdose on OxyContin and opioids. So she started to investigate and to make a statement as to say, these people are profiting from people's pain.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we do something about it?
I forget, like, I was hearing some, I know OxyContin is one, I don't know the drug names but I remember them saying, like, that they claim that the drugs, like, if you swallowed it whole, it would be, like, time released. And since it was time released and the way they synthesized it, you wouldn't get addicted to it because it would just, like, gradually feed into your system. But they knew that people could get addicted to it. They knew it the whole time, and they just lied about it.
I spoke about this a few episodes ago, where they rebrand things in a different way, saying that it doesn't addict you. You don't get addicted to it because they have a better formula and a better way of doing it, and this is how you should take it. And if you follow these instructions, which is actually a lie. I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the body breaks it down slowly and stuff like that. But no, what we get addicted is to actually what the changes it makes to your body, like the actual work it does inside of your body, regardless of in which levels. You know, all you need to do is consistency. Just like caffeine, you get addicted to it because of what it does internally, no matter the amount. Doesn't matter how much coffee you take, not really. It matters how often and which pattern you take it. Okay, so if you take it, you know, every time you get a headache, let's say your headaches are once a month, and you take a capsule, then yeah, you won't become addicted to it. But if you are taking it as a routine type of thing, recreational or anything like that, then you know you become addicted to it. Add to that a freaking potent formula or anything like that, it just gets worse from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they were lying the whole time. They knew it. Knew people were getting addicted to it. They knew people were dying, and they were paying off doctors and having those doctors to just give it to people, the cure-all for everything.
Yes. So this is the thing. It's not only that they were paying off. The doctors' offices were making a profit, like a percentage, from prescribing certain medications, and they never, you know, they actually paid off. Like, what is it that you pay off? There's a division. They were paying them off saying like, oh, there was a loophole actually. Like every 10 years, you gotta switch up, the pad and like I said, the way it's made and rebrand it. Okay, and that's the loophole. If you do that, those things they can look the other way without investigating too much into it. And put a percentage on that. A lot of people don't care.
A lot of people cave in. But what I was trying to focus on, and these are all fair points, is that actually the riots, that it became a problem for the Sackler family, or to put it, a problem for the Sackler family. The problem was already there because the Oxycontin was not what they said it what should do, or it did more than it should have done. But yeah, is this a movement that could have been stopped at the beginning? Is there somewhere where the Sackler family could have said, okay, wait, you know what? This person, let's blackmail them. Let's make sure they
stop
pay them off.
Oh, stop
to
the protest.
Stop it from.
But I still don't understand your angle, nigga. And I don't know if it's just me, but like, what are you coming from? Like, what you're trying to say? Because is it a setup? Like, were they like purposely making people addicted to this, so they keep coming to keep them around, to keep them working? Like, what's the angle on this? What are you trying to say?
More from the protests, like Ed was saying previously, the government only allows the protest to continue or to develop in the manner that they go, and in which they want them to go. And I think this protest, I don't know if it was time for the Sackler family to get out of the seats of profiteers, or they didn't lobby enough for the coming presidential election or something like that. But somewhere the wealth and the profit that was gained from these medicine and the prescription from it, there developed an unrest from the society. Society started developing like, okay, this is something that's going sideways, and this is causing deaths, and this is causing people to actually suffer instead of making them better. So, yeah, my perspective is, could you have stopped these developments from happening if you were a little bit more into prevention instead of letting things roll? And
just fun fact real quick, I'm sorry for listening, but did you know that a lot of times that these medications are, they would say addiction as a side effect, not like the main thing. And the reason they can get away with saying that is because what they do is like, okay, this medication was made to actually fight this or help you in this way. Addiction just happens to be a freaking a side effect or whatever, but which is not true. Like, people, if you use this, you're gonna get addicted to it. Yes, it does tackle the issue at hand, like the issue you are pointing out, but it's like 100% sure that you will become addicted to this. And they call it a side effect only because it has the advantage of helping you with certain things.
Yeah, I get it, and that's what's been happening throughout history. If you look at the history of cocaine,
yeah,
that was being given to soldiers to make them more valiant, to go out there and to fight.
Absolutely.
And right now it's a drug because it's forbidden. But these medication, these drugs, and the government decides which one is right, which one is not. I mean, weed is forbidden in the US. Why is that? Well, how much death come from weed or overdose on weed? So you can go on and look at the list, while all other prescription medications like Adderall,
I think the problem is not like the overdose rate. I think the problem is the profit on it. But because if it was weed, let's say weed, I don't necessarily have to go to the government to get my weed. I can grow it in my house. I could, You don't have to really do anything to it. If your weed plant actually had a bud, you can smoke that bud without doing anything extra to it. So it's very easy and accessible. But when it comes to these medications, you got to get it through the government, and all the profit goes to them. Like, not all the profit, but you know what I mean? Like, a big chunk goes to them. And you got to go to them for this medication. Doctors and hospitals and stuff like that. That's backed up by who? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an easier market to control.
Indeed, it's easier, but at the same time, it's also, you say like a weed plant is easier to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But most of these medicines come from nature. Most, if not all of them, come from nature.
The ingredients do.
Yeah, exactly. And if you go to a medicine man in like the Native Americans know a lot about these plants and their functions, actually. That you have nettles. Nettle you can use to fight off bugs. This is just a simple example, but you can also use it to if you have a headache, you can chew on the nettle leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and it relieves your headache.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on with the list of things that you can actually find in nature, or you can find in your backyard or in the park nearby.
Okay.
But because
what about this family in particular?
I think they just their head stuck out a little bit too much, in the sense of they were making way too much profit and they were being way too obvious about it.
Yeah, they were like the biggest ones. Like, whenever you hear about this, that's who pops up. Sackler Family.
Okay, Ed, what do you know about this?
Just what we already went over. That they came up with all these patents. They're making a lot of money. They're paying people off. They knew that they were hurting people, and they didn't care.
Mm.
It was just too much.
And what were these? Are these American people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. What was the last name again?
Sackler.
Sackler.
Okay. And have they been prosecuted? Are they arrested? Are they still?
I don't even know. I know they got fined. I know they got a lot of fines. I don't know if they're still around. That's
okay.
I think they might be.
They might be still around, like chilling.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot.
That tells you a lot, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'm ignorant. I did not know anything about this family in particular. Of course, I know how they handle things like this and how they are not the only ones. But if this is one of the main families that did this, I don't know who they are, regardless of what. Okay, anything else?
Any one of you would have did the same thing. You would have did the same thing.
We already had this conversation.
Yeah.
Not quite, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're wrong. Most people would, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. It'd be tough.
I could not sleep.
It'd be tough.
No.
It'd be real tough, man.
I'm not in love with money like that in that way, man. Not enough
I probably wouldn't have did it. Like, I would have sold them. I would have sold them, but I wouldn't have went as far,
But that's
after
that's
the first billion, I would have been good. I'm not just gonna keep going.
I couldn't speak, man. I couldn't speak.
No,
if I know that my medications were actually harming people, that's the moment I'd say, okay, just pull the plug.
Guys, look, we got $1 billion. Okay, we need to just.
They went for a settlement, by the way, which I read now. It's
maybe
8.3 billion.
How much?
8.3 billion. That's one of the biggest fines that a pharmaceutical ever had to pay for.
Goodness. Imagine how much money they doing. When you get sued and for this and that, they do an investigation on how much money you could actually pay out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
this was a settlement. This wasn't even
for a company. That's not a lot. They make more than that in a year.
Yeah, but
they could probably do that in a quarter.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. And you know what? Like, knowingly, you do this knowingly. I don't know, man.
I know you. You would pretend that you kind of don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, you would do that.
You think so? Because if I actually know, I cannot ignore myself.
When you told us that story about when you didn't eat and you were struggling and you found a wallet full of money, you didn't turn that wallet in. You didn't turn that wallet in. You kept that wallet. And
That's
not the same, but I understand.
I would have kept the wallet.
Yeah, you said God meant for me to have this wallet.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was trying to help me out. And,
I'm not gonna lie, I did.
And you would say
myself.
God meant for me to have this yacht. God meant for me to have this mansion too.
But what I needed was very basic compared to this, man.
Yeah.
And I wasn't hurting anybody. I mean, yeah, maybe their rent wasn't complete or whatever.
Yeah. But that guy over there, he has a yacht. Why can't I have one too?
Yeah, I deserve one. I've been working hard, right?
Yeah.
No, man. I don't think I would go that far. Anywhere near that far. Of course, I could find 1,000 reasons why I would deserve that money. I could be like, hey, I'm helping others and this and that, or my intentions are good. I get what you're saying. You can justify any of your actions. I mean, does it really justify it? Does it really make sense?
As long as it makes you feel
necessarily.
good, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I see that. I see your point. But no, not me in particular, at least. But that's all I have on that.
Yeah, that's my take actually also. Once you start something, when something is in motion, it's hard to stop. And I don't think any of the current things that the government has is actually enough to stop a wave of people that actually know the truth. So arm yourself with the truth, or your version, your reality. We're not in China, so we still can move freely. I can hear you, Lita. Oh, yeah.
I'm talking to my kids.
Okay. And just prepare yourself for what's out there, and if there's a wave coming, if you are in for it, jump on it. If not, there's always the next.
All right.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, we good.
Unidentified Podcast, we're out.